Today we are taking a look at a reprint of a classic. Big Boss will be founding and expanding companies, earning money, buying shares, and awaiting that key moment for a merger as we try to make our fortune. This one's low complexity, plays 2 to 6, takes about 90 minutes, and we can see the designer and the publisher there as well. Now, the rule set I'm going through today is based on this newer version, with the older rules included at the back of the rulebook if preferred. Let's get cracking. Okay, today's overview. I've got a two-player set. We've got the yellows, the blues. We're kind of partway through a game just so I can demonstrate a few main aspects to this game. So you'd start with some money, 40 million typically. You've got some radio towers. You wouldn't have any shares to begin with, but you would have 10 of these industry cards. And these are great because they're going to give you the ability to found companies, expand companies, and make your earnings and money. You've also got level cards, which help you increase the values of these corporations by building extra levels. Ignore the numbers in this particular version, they are for the older rule set. So we've got the main board. You've got number 1 all the way snaking to 72. You can see a few founding companies we've got here. Some have grown exponentially large. You've got the share prices you're keeping track of. You've got 6 face-up industry cards, of which you've got a deck as well, and you've got your player areas here. So what can you do? You can either play a card or you can buy a card. So let's just show you buying a card then. You want to buy one of these, or maybe you want to take the top one from the deck. That's going to cost you 5 million. So let's say blues pay 5. They take this particular card, number 49, into their hand. Done. You replenish it. Next player goes and they decide to buy a card as well. Maybe they want one of these level ones. These cost 10 million. So they place that in their hand. They pay the 10 million. Done. Over to the next player. So really quick and smooth turns. The next player is like, right, I want to play a card. So they're looking at their hand. I'd probably recommend keeping them in numerical order. So let's show you founding a company. So they play number 20. They take 4 building pieces. One of them has to at least be on number 20. And you can't be next to another corporation. There needs to be at least a gap of 3. So they go here. Maybe they want to go 1 either side. Maybe they want to go 2 this side, 2 that side. It depends on the cards in your hand and how your proximity is to other corporations. And we're going to go 19 and 18. And the only condition is, you have to have at least 1 on the card you played and a distance of 3 from others. You've then got the 4th block and you can choose which one you put it on. We're just going to place it here. And you should choose one of the remaining corporations that has not come into the game yet. We're going to go for this green colour and you pop it on top. We then get the share price token, and this organisation that's just been founded is worth 5. And why is that? Because we've got 3 level 1s, so you can see these are levels 1, 2 and 3, and we're adding a level 2. So 3 plus the 2 is 5. This is just representing which company it is, isn't actually worth anything. So that starts off at 5. We then get paid out earnings, so we're going to get 5 million, and we then have an opportunity to buy up to 2 shares of any companies that are currently out there. Mix and match as well if you want, and we may build a radio station. So let's just say we're going to buy a share in purple that's currently valued at 7. So we pay our money to the supply, take the purple share, add it to our portfolio, and we're going to buy 1 share in green as well. And again, you take a share, pay the money, and you can buy up to 2. Now, you don't increase the share prices based on buying shares. That's only when you are increasing and expanding and founding them, which it'll show you shortly. And you then have the opportunity to place a radio tower. And you can see the first one would have cost us 15 million, second one's 30 million. And to place this, it can only be placed on a company you've just founded or you've expanded. So we're going to pop it on there, pay our 30 million. You do not take free shares in Castle in this case. It just represents free shares. So when this either merges or it manages to survive to the end of the game, you will cash that out for the current value at free shares. So do not take the shares. Okay, that is there go done. You discard the card, over to the next player. So let's say these guys play an expand one. Let's just pretend we've got, let's say we play number 47. We take a building tile, we place it on 47, it's a level 1, and we increase the share price of yellows by 1. So that's expanding it. So you've had founding a company and expanding. We then get our earnings again, so we're going to get 34 money from the supply. Boom, we're loaded. We then buy 2 shares. Maybe we want to buy one in green because it's cheap, one in red, whatever it may be. Now, because we expanded yellows, and believe it or not, no one's actually placed a radio tower on there. We could place a radio tower, so we're going to place the cheaper one. That goes on there. We pay off 15 million, and that is worth 3 shares in yellow. And remember, you don't take the shares. So that is the actions. Buying cards, buying level cards, paying 5, paying 10, playing cards. Now, playing cards not only increases the share prices, but it gives you earnings, which is liquidity and money. And it also then gives you the opportunity to buy shares. Now, let's demonstrate a merger. One player, the Blues in this case, plays number 68. So this, you can see, is going to form a merger between these 2 companies. Now, they firstly pick which one they want to increase the value of because they still have placed a level 1. So let's just say, now importantly, you can see they're very similar in share price. If they decided to increase the share price of red, there's a tie, which means they could choose which company is going to get gobbled up. Normally, the bigger company is taking the smaller company. Let's say they wanted to increase the share price of purple by 1 because they got loads of purple shares and they want them to be worth loads. So in this case, red is going to get taken over. So before you do your earnings, you do the merger. So we placed 1 down, level 1. We've increased purple by 1. We now do the merger. So how does a merger work? Anyone who has red shares in this case will sell them out at the current share price. You then remove this red tower from the game. It goes into the game box. You remove any red shares as well, so it cannot come back into play. And you take the number 6 and add it to whatever purple is. So 6 plus 8 is 14. Remove the red share price token. Now purples are worth 14 each. These guys are rubbing their hands. They've made loads of money. Now, you're probably thinking, how am I going to sell shares? Well, you can't. The only way you can sell shares is if you are unable to either buy a card or buy a level card because you've maybe not got enough money, or you cannot play a card because you can't actually find one because of the conditions of being free away, or for whatever reason you can't just play a card. If that's the scenario, you may sell as many shares as you want to acquire money. If you don't want to do that, you can just pass. If 2 players pass if all players pass consecutively, that can end the game. Otherwise, the game will end once the last building has been placed. Once the last building's placed, that player's finishes their turn. And you'll add up all your money. So you'll add the money in your hand to selling all your shares as well. So you sell these out for their current values. You can never go higher than 50. So while I'm here, let's just say you expand this company and it's at 50. You can't go to 51. You can still expand them, but you'll only get paid out 50 in earnings, as I may have already mentioned. Okay, so end of the game. Add up your money, sell all your shares, add that money to it. Any industry cards in your hand are going to get paid out 5 million because you never had a chance to use them. Any level cards you've not managed to use are going to get 10 million as well. Whoever has the most money is the winner of Big Boss. Enjoy.